Hello everyone, welcome to another video for the Tribe program. Hope you're enjoying the program and learning lots about Jewish tradition and meeting some wonderful people. My name is Rabbi Mendy and I'm here to talk with you today about the mitzvah, the Jewish principle of Lifnei Iver, which means before the blind, and is a quote from a verse in the Torah in Leviticus or Vayikra, the third book of the five books of Moses, that says, "Do not place a stumbling block before a blind person." Now, what does that mean? Think about it for a second. Someone is walking down the street and they are blind. You take a stumbling block and you place it there. And what happens? They trip and fall. And they hurt themselves. Now, you might say you didn't push them, right? You didn't hurt them directly. But the reality is your actions caused them to hurt themselves, to be afflicted. And therefore, you are responsible for the result, the consequences of your actions. And this is a principle in Jewish tradition that's applied in numerous cases, whether it's talking about the idea of talking slanderous about people, bearing grudges, how we leave parts of our field for poor people. It is used time and again, telling us that the responsibility we have to tell the truth and to assist others also applies to the sin of omission. Not sharing something that you know can be construed as Lifnei Iver, as placing a stumbling block before the blind person. You have information that could help that individual. You're not sharing it, and therefore you are causing whatever negative consequence is going to come to that individual. So let me share with you a short story to highlight this idea. Now, there was once a baker who baked delicious cakes for a living. And this man understood that in order to bake a delicious cake, he often had to use products that weren't so healthy. For example, trans fats, something that all the bakers in his community used, and that was how they made the cake so luscious and delicious. But this baker felt terrible because recent research had shown that trans fat could be extremely unhealthy. And he wasn't sure if he could continue to use this product in his cake so that he could compete with the local bakers, or if he needed to stop because he was violating the Lifnei Iver principle. He was offering up something unhealthy to unsuspecting individuals, and he had information he wasn't sharing with them. So he called a rabbi and asked the rabbi, "What do I do?" And the rabbi said, "Kudos to you, Yasher Koch, for having this challenge in the first place and recognizing your responsibility, because your life isn't just about baking cakes to make money. You live here on this earth for a reason and a purpose. God gave you the skill to bake cakes, and it's a wonderful skill that you should use to help other people, but it needs to be used in the correct format." So the baker turned to him and says, "Well, what should I do?" So the rabbi replied the following. He said, "If you have information that this can cause a heart attack or coronary disease or some kind of negative consequence, you have a responsibility to share that with your clientele. Maybe you can give them a flyer or have it displayed. You could have a poster that makes sure people understand that this cake they're choosing, although it might be delicious, isn't necessarily the best health choice for them. And then they can make an informed decision about what they want to do." And the gentleman turned to me and says, "But even if they say they want to eat the cake, should I serve it to them?" He says, "Well, look, you're not committing a sin, and it doesn't say in the Torah you're not allowed to eat an unhealthy cake. So your responsibility extends to sharing the advice with the individual. And once you've done that, it's now fully up to them to make the correct decision, to choose wisely." And that is one example of Lifnei Iver. If you have information that could directly benefit or hurt somebody, you have a responsibility to share it, even in a business transaction, because not to do so would be detrimental to another human being. And we know that Kol Yisrael are Revim Zeh. Each person is responsible for the other. And so anything that you know that could hurt somebody else or help somebody else, you're responsible to share with them. I hope you consider that the next time you've got a little nugget of good information. Thanks so much. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your program.